She moves around because all the weight's in the rear, being a rear-engine car as well. It pendulums on you brutally. So really fun, really lively car to drive. All right. A bit of a concertina there.
What it do, E-World? Crisscrossing wires, and I'm here today to talk to you fellas about racing. And the reason why is because I need to distinguish some fundamentals about, the different types of racing. Now, of course, if I'm talking about racing e-bikes, most of the time, an e-bike race is from start to finish. Most of the time, those finish lines are hardly an eighth of a mile at best. But if you're going to be doing some real races, they should at least be an eighth of a mile or even a quarter mile. Now, that being said, at once upon a time, whenever I was talking about top speeds as far as my bike was concerned, you always heard me talk about voltage. Because yes, voltage is definitely relative when you're talking about top speeds. Okay? Now, top speeds are great. How fast is your bike? Most of the time, guys always give their top speed. Well, my bike goes 50 miles an hour. Well, my bike goes 60 miles per hour. And yeah, that's the answer they give. But the top speed of your bike doesn't really mean that your bike is fast. That just means that's the maximum speed in which it will travel. Now, that 60 mile per hour that you just stated might not mean a damn thing if it takes you a minute to get to 60 miles per hour, okay? And ain't too many e-bike races lasting for a minute, all right? So, yes, back in the day when I used to always be talking about, trying to reach a certain speed, yeah, I was definitely a voltage guy myself as well. Because RPMs equals speed, and speed equals voltage. That's how you're going to get those RPMs. However, when it comes to getting to the finish line first, that is power. And power consists of volts and amps. You know what I mean? Volts times amps equals watts. You need both of them, really. Volts is still a factor. However, when it comes to getting to the finish line first, we're talking about raw power. We're talking about current and amps and torque. Okay? Now, if all I wanted to do was break 100 miles per hour, I could have kept my Sabvaton 72150, modified it for high voltage, and ran 140 volts through that thing and got my bike over 100 miles per hour. And I could have done that a whole lot easier than what I'm doing now. But what I'm doing now is building a race bike, an eighth mile monster, a quarter mile demon, okay? And in order to accomplish that goal, I need amps, I need current, I need torque, which is exactly why I'm using that ASI. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to current and torque and power and efficiency, there are none better. When it comes to the amount of field weakening that controller can produce, none can match it. Yeah, far drivers are amazing. You can reach some high speeds with far drivers, But as far as the software, as far as the field weakening potential and how much back EMF it can counter and nullify, it can't touch an ASI, okay? Because the field weakening that ASI can produce is off the chain, and that is what you need for top speed, and that is also what you need to get to the finish line first. That in a combination with current flow and a sufficient amount of voltage is going to get the job done. All right. Now, yes, like I said, there are going to be plenty of bikes that can do the same speed as my bike. There are plenty of bikes right now that can do 80 miles per hour. But guess what? Some of those bikes, it may take a whole minute for them bikes to get to 80 miles an hour. If I'm getting to 80 miles an hour in 6 or 7 seconds or less than that, let me tell you something. The race is over, okay? If we're racing 100 yards down to the end of the block or eighth a mile or whatever, I'll be at the finish line waiting on you and your top speed. All right. So let's just get that straight. Yes, I do know what's required for top speed. I know that's voltage. And like I'm trying to tell you, when it comes to power, you need a little of both. But you need a lot more of current flow. Now, I'm trying to get to the finish line before the other guy. So at the end of the day, yeah, I want raw power. I want lots of newton meters of torque, and that is what I'm going for. Now, if you got a bike that can do 130 miles per hour, that's a beautiful thing, but you won't be doing 130 miles an hour in the eighth mile. In fact, a lot of the top race cars, I'm talking petrol vehicles, quarter miles aren't breaking 100 miles per hour. So that's not going to help you in a race to the finish line. All right, so there it is. Take it easy. Take care. That's just my little talk about, what I'm going for in building my race bike. All right, y'all. Deuces. We out.